Hi guys, welcome back. I didn't film any videos last week because I was so busy at work. I mean, I'm going for all the overtime I can, so I apologise for that, even though I did say I was going to try and do 2 a week. So I've decided that from now on I'm going to film them in batches, so for like 4 or 5 videos you'll probably see me wearing the same clothes. I apologise, I'm not being a scrap bag, it's just time saving for me when I have a day off and some time to myself. So I'm going to do today my January favourites, and there aren't that many of them, I'll be honest with you, purely because I've been trying new things and really sort of trying to get through samples and stuff instead. I did that in December as well, which had some strange consequences, but I'm just going to quickly go through January favourites now with you. And I'm going to start with makeup, then I'll go on to body and skin, and then I'll finish with hair and perfume. If that's alright with you guys, well, that's the way I'm going to do it, so I hope it is. Okay, first things first, we'll start with a base product, and it is the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Concealer. And I've mentioned this before in 2 videos now, I think. Or have I? I'm not sure. But I do genuinely really like this. It comes in this little round pot, which has got like 3 steps in it. Step 1 is you conceal your you conceal dark circles. It's more of a pinky colour. Step 2 is blemishes, which is more of a skin colour. And then you can finish it. Sorry, the packaging is quite awkward to manoeuvre at times, with a translucent powder and a little puff there. And I have found that I'm not using the translucent powder at all. More I'm using the pink undertones, because I have the pink undertoned concealer, because I have quite dark circles. I always have done, unfortunately, and I'm actually hitting pan on that one, and I've only had it a month, basically because I have to use so much to make my eyes look bright. And then obviously I've had a few sort of issues with blemishes on my jawbone, some quite big ones as well. I looked like I was about to erupt the other day. I was gutted. So I'm getting through this quite thick and like high coverage area here, the more bisque toned one, if you will, the more skin coloured one, quite quickly as well. And it's easy to blend. It is thick, it is sticky, but I do really like this. So I can't recommend this highly enough, and I will probably repurchase this. The next thing I am loving is the Naked Basics palette. I am not a eyeshadow girl. I've admitted this before several times. So Dave, when he bought me the Naked 2 palette and the Naked Basics for Christmas, I loved him for it, but I was sort of like, I'm never going to get through all of these. Saying that, I have got into my neutral eyeshadows lately, because I'm allowed to wear makeup at work, but we've got to keep it natural looking. So I can't really walk in like this, but I can walk in with something a bit more natural, if that makes sense. So I had a good think about the kind of eyeshadows that I really like, and I have hooded lids, which means that if I wear shimmer, it doesn't really show up. So matte colours are brilliant for me, and obviously the Naked Basics is now renowned for having, well, they're all matte colours, apart from Venus, which I would say is slightly shimmery, but I don't use that one anyway. So they're the colours. Don't know if it's going to show up properly. They're the colours. And basically I use these 2 here, Walk of Shame and Naked 2. And what I do is put Walk of Shame all over the crease and Naked 2. I put Walk of Shame all over the eyelid, and then I put Naked 2 in the crease and underneath my eye to just sort of make it look a little bit smoky, but not too smoky that it's dead obvious. Basically just blend them in, and it looks really nice, really natural. A good coat of mascara and I'm good to go. And I'm really loving those 2 colours. I think if I had a choice between repurchasing the whole palette and repurchasing those 2 colours, I'd definitely just repurchase those 2 colours, because at the moment I'm not using any of the other colours. So I really like this for that reason alone. And I think, they are individual eyeshadows from Urban Decay are £14, and this whole set is only £20 at the moment. I'm not sure if it's going to go up or not. So maybe, just maybe, it's worth repurchasing the whole thing just to save some money, but I find that's a waste of product. So I'm not entirely sure. Next thing I want to talk to you about are my favourites, and they have only just come out, so you might be saying, Helen, why are you saying that these are your favourites when they've only just come out like literally maybe a week ago. Well, I am in love with them, and I can't stress enough how amazing they are. They are the Rimmel Apocalypse. They're £6.99 each and now available in Superdrugs and Boots. I'm not sure if there are any offers on at the moment with them, but I don't care. I've got 3 colours and I'm desperate for the other 3. I've got Stella, Big Bang and Nova. I'm wearing Nova right now actually, and they're just amazing. I mean, they're so pigmented. They last so long on the lips. They last hours and hours and hours on the lips without touch-ups. They do stain the lips, so if you don't want something that stains, maybe this isn't for you, but they don't budge. They're amazing. They cut, you know, they just, I can't even begin to describe them. Moisturising, they don't dry your lips out. They're just fantastic. I love, love, love these. And out of all of them, I didn't think I was going to wear Nova as much as I am doing. I'm really loving Nova at the moment. Stella, I'm going to wait until spring, summer maybe, the more nicer weather to start wearing this, because it's quite a corally pinky orange colour, if that makes sense. So I think that's going to be a massive colour for summer and spring. And then Big Bang is your classic scarlet. It's amazing. So many bloggers are saying how great these are, and I have to agree with them. I totally fell for the hype. I actually blogged about them on the day I bought them because I thought they were amazing. So there we go. So on to skin now, and I have 2 things. I have, again, something I've mentioned a lot before, is the Peaches and Clean 4-in-1 Wash Off Deep Cleansing Milk. And I genuinely love this, but I recommended it to Isla and she sort of had a reaction to it. So maybe if you have really sensitive skin, this isn't a thing for you. But I adore it, and you can use it as a face mask, you can use it as a cleanser. Someone on Miss Budget Beauty's channel, I think, commented and said that they'd used it on their feet. It was that softening, and basically I just love it. It melts away your makeup. It smells weird. It doesn't smell like the usual Soap and Glory scent. It smells like fresh mints and peach, which is not something I'm overly keen on, but I'm a bit picky with my scents. But because it's such a good product, I can overlook the scent. And, you know, you can use it with a normal muslin cloth to just polish your face with. That's how I do it. Or you could use a flannel, you could use anything you wanted with it and you still get the same effect. It's really good. And my skin, apart from this little hormonal jaw breakout, has actually been really good since I used this. I'm really, really impressed. And then the next thing is, because I now have a job where one of the aisles is dedicated to beauty. In fact, I think we have 3 aisles dedicated to health and beauty. I can now get hold of Dirty Works products, which are currently on offer at Sainsbury's. If you haven't guessed where I work yet, there you go. So instead of £5, I picked this up for £2.49 because I was in need of a new scrub, and I am a scrubber. I hold my hands up. I love a good scrub, and I love a good salt scrub at that, or a sugar scrub, whatever they are. As long as it's going to take all the dead skin cells away and make my skin super smooth, I will be happy as Larry with it. This is the Glow Girl Buttery Salt Scrub. Kiss goodbye to dry skin. And it's not a buttery texture, I'll be honest with you. It's more like a mousse, and that was quite surprising because when I first used it I was like, this is quite weird, this is not right, this isn't thick enough, but it is, it genuinely is. You don't need a lot because the mousse sort of washes away for the granules of the salt and the, like, I don't even know how to describe it, I'm such a bad blogger, to come through, and it just leaves your skin so smooth. So if you have a Sainsbury's near you, go and pick this up and try it, because with £2.50, £2.49, you can't go wrong with trying this for that price. And if you love it, it's worth spending the whole £5 on when it's not on offer. And I certainly will, because I've tried Soap and Glory scrubs that are like twice the price, and I think that this is better. It doesn't particularly smell of anything. It's not really, really scented, which is nice because it means you can layer a body butter over the top and not have a conflicting sort of clash of smells. And it's really good like that. The only thing I have a problem with is, as you can hear, when you take it off, because there are so many granules and salts in there, it is quite hard with wet hands to get the lid back on again. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. I struggle with basic things in most days. So I'm really, really enjoying that as well. And then I'll go on to hair stuff. Hair stuff, I'm really getting into looking after my hair at the moment. Usually it's curly, but as you can see I'm straightening it, which means I'm using a lot of heat defence. And one of the things I've always been quite sort of intimidated by is hair oils, because I've used them before on dry hair and I've hated them. They make my hair look greasy. I don't know if it's just the amount I'm using. I genuinely don't know. I've used them on wet hair and it's come out greasy. I just can't get to grips with them. So I've always used them as a pre-wash treatment, which is great, but I don't want to be having like a greasy forehead for half an hour before I go and wash my hair. So I took the plunge and bought the L'Oreal Elvive New Extraordinary Oil for coloured hair, and it says it's a sublime hair enhancer. A precious blend of 6 flower extracts with nourishing properties for luminous colour and sumptuous softness. Rub 2 precious drops between the palms of your hands. Apply evenly through the lengths and ends of wet or dry hair. Before shampooing, for extra colour protection. Before styling, to protect and transform your hair as a finishing touch for sumptuous softness and luminous colour. And it cost me $9.99, so it was a bit of a gamble considering that I don't have £10 to throw away on something that might not work. But I've heard amazing things about L'Oreal Mythic Oil, and I didn't think that this was the Extraordinary Oil. I thought this was a Mythic Oil when I picked it up, but I am actually really impressed with this one. What I've taken to doing is waiting until my hair is like 75-80% dry, 2 pumps of this into my palms, rub it through, and then style after that. And as you can see, the shine it gives is fantastic. I wouldn't use it on dry hair, not properly dry hair, and I certainly wouldn't use it like on properly wet hair, because I don't think you can tell how much you're putting on when you put it on properly wet hair, and I don't want to make my dry hair look greasy. But I am recommending this for like sort of just halfway through blow drying. Put it on a tiny bit. I mean, this is going to last me the better part of a year. As you can see, I've been using it for 2 weeks now, and it's literally just got to there. It's craziness how good value that's going to be if I keep using it. It doesn't really smell of anything. Maybe it's lightly floral, a hint of coconut maybe, but it doesn't really smell of anything. So I like that as well, because I don't really want my hair to smell of anything other than the conditioner I've used. Because I do tend to like the smell of the conditioners I use on my hair. So I'm really impressed with this, and I highly recommend it. And then on to the last thing, second to last thing, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, which is the Miss Dior Sherry perfume. This has been blogged to death. I'm not going to bore you about it, but basically I have a complete stash of perfumes that I need to get through, because they're all going to start going off soon. Because if you don't use perfume, if you leave it on the side for 6 to 12 months, the percent does change because of the chemicals in the perfume, and basically it goes off. I wasn't aware of that properly. I knew that the perfumes could go off, but I wasn't properly aware of it until I did some proper research into it for an up-and-coming blog post, and basically I got scared that this, because it was bought last April, was going to go off, so I thought, right, I'm going to start using it up, and it smells the same as it did before, but we'll see. But basically, I've really got back into this, and everyone knows what Miss Dior Cherie smells like. The blogging world loves it, so I'll leave it there with that one. And then the final beauty thing is not actually a beauty item per se. It's a magazine, and it's Allure magazine. This is an American magazine that has started to sort of trickle through into the blogging world over here in Britain. And basically it's very expensive. To buy it outright in a shop would be £4.40, which is 20p dearer than Vogue, for a lot less. But this is like predominantly beauty with a bit of fashion thrown in, as regards to predominantly fashion with a tiny beauty section, which is something that I much prefer, so I'm willing to pay the extra 20p. Unfortunately, I don't have a magazine store big enough that has this near me, and I can't find it in any of the supermarkets either, so I've had to order it in, which has cost an extra £2.29 on top, so it's actually come in at £6.69 for me to order. But I am thinking about getting a subscription because it is really good. I'm really impressed with the amount of knowledge in just these few pages. I'm genuinely thrilled about buying this, and I will buy another one. Because it's like all the trends coming up, things like that. So it's really informative. It tells you more about your skin than you ever will read on the internet. It's just brilliant. I can't recommend this highly enough, especially if you're a beauty junkie and not a fashion junkie. So there we go. So that was my January favourites. I hope I haven't rambled on too long. I probably have, as usual. And I'll see you all in my next video. Ta!